How's it going, guys? It's Ralphie from Beyond the Huddle. Welcome to our XTZ video today, and I'll be explaining to you why I believe that TEZOS is at a very critical level and support right now, where if we can see some reversal signs here on a weekly time frame, we could be in for some pretty large rally. Then again, if we do end up losing these yearly and quarterly support levels, we'll be in for a lot of pain, and I'll give you guys some examples and reasons as to why that's the case later on in this video. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy and let me know what you think about the video at the end. Okay guys, so to get started, the very first thing you want to do in your trading plan is begin with your USDT bias indicator, and that's updated every single Sunday night, so that way you know what the potential bias for the entire week is going to be. And in this specific case, the idea is that as long as you're above this green zone on Bitcoin, USDT prices are expected to be bullish. Okay, so the idea of my video on Wednesday was, hey guys, as long as you stay above this, you'll be bullish, you'll be a buyer. And again, this is updated every Sunday night for premium members. And then look right here. Today is Friday. You can see right here that we hit it that one time that I mentioned right here in the Wednesday screenshot. Then we hit it a second time, and now we have bounced off of it. So again, because we did not break below it, that meant that we're bullish on all USDT prices. So now let's go ahead and take a look at how we choose that we should be trading TEZOS in this case. Okay guys, so now that we know what our bias for the altcoin should be, bullish because of USDT and of course for Bitcoin prices, we want to know whether our altcoin is going to outperform Bitcoin. In order to do that, we need to look at TEZOS BTC, so any altcoin against Bitcoin. And we want to use our Beyond the Huddle volume profiles. And one really cool thing with this is that we've made it so we have we call it a multi-time frame volume profile. And that way what we can do is we can start to see the entire profile for a specific candle. Now this is like groundbreaking and it's game changing, because now we're able to we're able to add up all the volume for that specific candle and then see how it was traded. So for me, I'm a longer term trader. I like to trade those quarterly candles, yearly candles, and monthly candles in order to be able to squeeze out of the market the large 100 to 1000% moves, right? The only way you're going to do that is by trading the higher time frames. If you know where all the volume is distributed and you make bets at the extreme of those volumes, then now you can start to see why we have such a high win rate when we make analysis on these coins, right? So take a look at this, right? Right now, this white line right here, that gives us the distribution for the entire quarterly candle, okay? So actually, one thing I need to do here is turn on my opens. I don't know why I only see this one. One second. So there we go. So you can see right here, if we look at the opens, the idea is that you see right here, when this quarterly candle opened in January, we went straight up and we did what? We hit previous quarter's value area high, okay? So that means if we hit previous quarter's value area high, we use some sort of supply here, a premium, swing high, swing low, we expect it to move lower. When that move lower happens, what's our support level going to be? Well, you're targeting the other side of the area, right? Which is the value area low, okay? And that's what you want to be thinking, guys. You want to be thinking, I'm trading a specific candle. Don't ever think of it as, oh, I'm just trading any, random price, random levels. You want to sectionalize it to a certain candle, and that would definitely make your trading a lot better. So again, the important part here is that if TEZOS BTC is sitting right on the previous quarter's value area low, remember that's the time when the market will decide whether it wants to bear trend or it will respect it. Now most of the time they get respected, but when they do break, bad things happen. And I'm going to show you guys here an example of that in TEZOS USDT. Let's go get those opens again. I'm not sure why the default wasn't to have them all shown, but if we go here and then we take a look at the month of January, you can see right here what happened on the USDT cross. We opened up and we hit this blue line, this blue zone. Now this blue zone for me, if we double click on this right here, that's the monthly, so that's the time frame, right? And you can see all the time frames we have, and that's my monthly time frame. So that means that the market opened up, hit the monthly value area high, right? And again, what would have happened had it not stopped there is that TEZOS would have bull trended, right? And what happens during that time period is that there's a lot of very thin liquidity. And because there's so much, because there's such thin liquidity, then prices are going to just skyrocket aggressively. And the same can be said conversely the opposite side, but it was a double whammy this time, because not only was it the blue line, which is my monthly model, right? So that tracks the entire value for 1 month candle. It was also the quarterly value area. Okay, so because you had that double whammy right there, you had a huge drop in price of about 36%. So that means you were bear trending on the monthly and a quarterly in USDT prices. But we can go ahead and hide the monthly here. So we can come here and we can hide this. We're going to hide the 3-day as well. We're going to hide the monthly. And essentially what's important here is that, actually we'll hide the quarterly for this one as well because it's not needed at the moment. The important thing that's happening here is that while on the Bitcoin cross, we're hitting the value area low of the quarterly. Remember, that's my white lines. If we zoom out, that's the entire quarterly candle's value area. We're actually hitting the yearly value area here for the yearly, okay? So look at that. So Misha always says we want to make decisions at a point in time where we're closest to our invalidation point, okay? So for us, we never want to touch any coins whose cross is bearish on a yearly. Why? Because then that means you're building, you're bear trending, you're hitting a lot of thin liquidity to the downside. That's not what you want to be involved in, right? You want to be involved in coins that are either hitting their current year's value or lows, and you're making a decision there because that's the point where, like the furthest point where your invalidation happens, or you want to go ahead and make decisions when you're bull trending. In this specific case, we're going to be assuming that there's going to be a bounce off that, okay? So that's the step number 1, right? We see what levels those are. And then the step number 2 would be you want to use either your execution time frames, which again, you're going to use the same idea, which is the volume profile, and you're going to see whether it's bull trending or within it or bear trending, right? But then the way you want to do it is you want to do it on a 3-day or on a weekly, okay? In this specific case, we'll just use the weekly model, and the way that works here is the week opens there. You can see right here we bear trended. Why? Because we're below this green zone, this green line, right? So if we're below the green line, we're going to move lower. We're going to hit the yearly, but you don't make any decisions until you go back above it. Because once you go back above it, now you're bear trending, and there's a lot of thin liquidity that's happening in this zone right here against USDT. If we go here and we look at the same thing, right? You hit your high time frame level. In this case, it's the quarterly, but you're still not above the previous week's value or low. So that means you're bear trending, okay? So in this specific case, if we're to see this big support, again, a quarterly candle, it takes 90 days for that to happen, right? So if we're going to see that hold, we need to see the lower time frame start to switch bullish, and we need to see this bullish reversals. Now, I want to also show you one more thing here, and why this is such a big important level here for TEZOS. We're not very far away on XTZ from the previous year's value area low, only 11% away. Much like on the USDT cross, guys, if it falls below this right here, that means that in this entire year, you'd rather be holding Bitcoin rather than XTZ. And that's why we're saying, again, huge time for this coin right here. And it'll decide whether this quarterly candle here will end up, being a low and then being bullish, and whether this yearly candle right here, right? And by the looks of it, this last year's candle was bullish. You would expect a continuation of that bullishness, but you can't and you won't expect that if you end up going below previous year's value or low right here. And that's why this is one of the best times if you're an XTZ lover to try to be making decisions. But remember, guys, you hit your higher time frame levels, and I classify higher time frames as anything above a weekly. So monthly, quarterly, and yearly value areas are all my targets of potential entries, and then I use my weeklies and my 3 days depending how aggressive I want to be in the trade. If I want to be really aggressive, I use a 3-day. But if you use a 3-day, you have to make sure it also switches the weekly flow. Okay, guys, that's very important. But in this specific case, if we look at both of them right here, they're both bearish on the weekly. That's what we will be waiting on right now. Again, we've hit the yearly value or low on the USDT cross, which is the lowest possible area you would expect to even keep making decisions on TEZOS. And we've hit the quarterly value or low here, and we're so close to the yearly value or low that it's a great time if we can go back above this weekly to be making decisions. So with that being said, guys, I hope you find some value in this. I hope you get so as passionate, as excited on this multi-time frame volume profile as I do and as I have, because once it clicks, once it hits you, you're going to see some major changes in your trading. So make sure you give us a thumbs up, make sure you share it with some friends and family. Let us know how you felt about the video, and until then, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.